Hey, there he is, sitting in his gamer chair. It is Dave Pileggi, and it is Rick Probst with
Dan Radcliffe on FaithTalk Live.
Yeah. He looks so comfortable, doesn't he, Dan?
He does. He looks awesome, as always. I mean,
if I nod off, it's not you guys, it's the chair.
That's all right. Usually our guests do nod off somewhere in the interview, don't they, Dan?
Yeah, I'm just glad you're still awake at the beginning here.
Right.
Hey, I got to say now, Dan noticed the gamer chair, but I noticed the green chair behind you there. Who sits in that chair? What?
So that is the addition to our office / guest bedroom / playroom / audition room that my wife added. So while I'm editing here all of our auditions, she can sit right there and we can talk about all the stuff going on.
You should put that in front of a green screen, because then it'll look like you're sitting on nothing. You're just like hovering in the air.
Dude, cool. Look, I tried to green screen a cool background for this, but that's the only thing that disappeared. So.
Oh, well.
We love talking to Dave Pileggi, or Pile Gigi is what I started calling him years ago. And we'll talk a little bit about what's going on, the creative movement in Atlanta. And I noticed on the Facebook that you've got something going on Sunday nights. We'll get into that in a second. Then there's a quote you put on your Facebook that I want to ask you about. It's really good. Really, really good. But first, the important stuff. The favorite Pile Gigi Christmas movie. Go.
Oh, Elf.
Yes.
Yeah, I just can't get away from it. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, every time we watch it, it's just hilarity through and through. The kids love it. It's complete and absolute hilarity front to back.
It was comic genius, wasn't it? I mean,
on so many levels. Yeah. Every time I watch it, I'm like, Wendy gets frustrated sometimes. I'll be like, you see that beat? See how he paused right there? He let the joke hang for a second, and then it hit, right? She's like, Just enjoy it. Stop.
A word to the wise for everybody. Don't watch movies with Dave Pile Gigi.
Right.
All right. Usually, now it's a tradition of ours to watch it with the family, and we crack up every single year for years. My wife gags every single year when he takes the gum off the sub. I'm used to it, but she gags every single time.
Yeah. And I just found out via, I don't remember if it was my daughter or my son, one of them. They always like to look up on IMDb, what people have been in. But they found out that the voice of Mr. Narwhal was Jon Favreau, who produced the movie and is also in the Iron Man movies. I did not know that.
And he's also in Elf as the Doctor.
Yes, you're right. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Now I've got to go back and see that. I always go, hope you find your dad, buddy.
Right.
Love it. All right. Favorite Pile Gigi Christmas music song. Go.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go.
Any particular version? Somebody's version?
I love Bublé has a nice little twist on that thing. Sinatra back in the day. I mean, his thing. I mean, who could top that, right?
Yeah.
That's probably the top two.
All right.
Yeah.
Love it. Love talking to Dave. All right, we'll get into the some other stuff in a second. Do you guys have traditions? We do that we do every year. Do you guys just kind of wing it, or do you have a tradition that you really love?
We, my wife and I talked about this forever when we first got married. Her family had some traditions. My family had some traditions. And we really wanted every Christmas to kind of be new and exciting, while still having some feels of some of that tradition. So we do, we let the kids build the gingerbread houses, right? We do that every single year. Which is super fun, big family event, like we all do one, right? We have the shop for each other thing that we do, where we, each family member, we take the kids and we make a list. What do you think they're going to want more than anything else? And so we do that whole thing together to really think about it. And the biggest tradition I think that is really huge and fun is we really take time in the whole month of December to talk about the story of Jesus. So, and always correlate the two, the present day holiday and where it came from. Because I know that's something that my family did. Wendy's family was big on that too. So each year we try to pick some new adventures, some new Christmassy things to do with the whole fam, while still sticking to those three main traditions that we have, to make sure we include every aspect of the Jesus story. That's what the whole jam is about, including family, giving, really serving and giving, and then having some really cool family time together. One of the things my wife and I talk about this year is gathering up a ton of toys and really finding some families in need, and some families that aren't really as fortunate as we are. And we found a couple of friends that knew of some families that are really struggling. So we're in the process of talking about, okay, how can we serve them and bless them, and want the kids to be involved in that too, because that's amazing. When they see how they can serve in this time, it's just awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be something that will stick with them for the rest of their lives. So good on you guys for getting them involved in that. Good stuff. All right, Dave Pileggi with the Creative Movement. What's going on with the Creative Movement now lately these days?
Man, so much. We launched our online courses. God gave me about a decade ago a full weekend workshop, 2 full days. It's like 9 hours on Saturday, 9 hours on Sunday. The first is Mindset Mastery, where we connect purpose with craft, where we talk to people about their why. What is their purpose? What group of people are you on this earth to serve, to change, to help? Take that, establish that as your why, and then you build your creative career, writing, producing, directing, acting, on that why, so that everything you do serves that. Well, a few years ago, we videoed the whole weekend, all day Saturday, 9 hours, all day Sunday, 9 hours, edited it together, and we launched it. It's on our classes page on the creativemovement.co website. We did a beta test where we sent it to 20 people and said, will you just walk through this? Tell us anything you'd change, anything that would be different, anything that you would serve you better. The responses are just amazing. God just legit changing lives. One person in particular, legit atheist. Like, I mean, at a level that is just textbook when you meet one, right?
Like Richard Dawkins level, right? I mean, like,
right. Yes. He emailed back and said, I actually want to read it to you. So here's his email. Dave, thank you for trusting me with the process of this review. Below are a couple of my notes and critiques, but above the notes and critiques, please understand that this entire course will change people. And I know that because I am old, crusty, bitter, and set in my ways, and I already feel my heart changing.
Wow.
Man, that is... when I got that, and his notes were minute, like, give me more text on the screen because my hearing is going, like, those kinds of things, right? But that note, and we have one from a mom who asked permission, can I go through this with my teenage son? Who they went through it, and they're just, as an entire family now, focusing on their why. The son said, Mom, I really feel like I'm supposed to help teenagers who struggle with suicidal thoughts. Yeah. So now we're connected. And he's helping us now as an intern really help our suicide haters movement really go to the next level. The husband, her husband said he'd always wanted to help elderly and never told anyone ever. So now the last 2 weeks, he has been connecting with elderly care facilities within a 5-mile radius of their house, volunteering every day, just going and hanging out with elderly.
Wow.
Her big thing, she's always wanted to teach music. Never told anyone. She's an accountant, right? And an actor as well, but just kept the music thing because she was embarrassed, didn't know if she was good enough. She's now connected with the music studio just in these last 2 weeks. Wow. And she had a booking last week for the first time in a year and a half.
Wow.
And she believes fully that it's because she finally adopted and took ownership of who she is, what she wants, and where she's going. And it's just amazing what God's doing with it. And so we put it up there for people to be able to go get it, go through it. I really fully believe it'll change people's lives forever. It's been amazing to watch already the transformation in people.
Great stories.
Love it.
Yeah.
Dave Pileggi, we're talking about where can they see that? Is it on your website that they can go to?
It is. If you just go to the classes page, it's thecreativemovement.co/classes. You'll see, you scroll down, there's a couple of the virtual things we're doing, and then the online class brings you straight to the portal. You log in, you got lifetime access to it. And we tell people, look, if you take it and it doesn't change your life when you actually do the work, give it 3 months, do the work, everything in there. And if your life isn't changed in 3 months, I'll refund your money. I don't care. But you got to give a legit try, though. You got to do the work. Is work, right? It's not Fluffytown, USA, and you're all of a sudden the mayor of Fluffytown. Like, you got work to do, right? Like, pick up the shovel.
You don't want to be mayor of Fluffytown.
I know, right? Like, you got to pick up the shovel and dig the ditch, right? Like, you just got to do the work. So when people do the work, man, their life changes completely.
Wow. I just wrote that down. I love that, Fluffytown.
You're not gonna be the mayor of Fluffytown. Just get that out of here.
Be the city manager, maybe.
Right. Parks and Rec director, something.
Dave Pileggi, we love, Dan and I love, and our families love when we're sitting down watching TV and the Pileggis are on television, whether it's HGTV.
I know that guy.
or Wendy, the star of the Publix commercial that we saw. When was that? A couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we watch those, and we really do. We go off the chain. Of course, I say, I know them. So are you guys in anything for Christmas, or have you ever been in a Christmas thing, or do you want to be in or what Christmas thing would you like to be in?
So great question. We all want to be in a Christmas movie, all of us. I wrote actually one of those Lifetime-ish kind of a Christmas movies. You know what I'm saying? Where like
Lifetime. I mean, are we talking?
No, it's so pretty much, like all the Lifetime movies. Yeah. We haven't seen each other since high school. Now a tragedy brings me back home, and now I'm stuck. Now I'm in love. Oh my gosh! Right, like Merry Christmas, that thing. But it's very much a comedy twist to that. Yeah, where it's just ridiculous. So we'd love to do that. But yeah, we're all in. Wendy's like legit Lifetime hardcore want to be in a Christmas movie. And she's made for it. Like, she's so freaking made for it. It's awesome. So yeah, the whole family would just love to. All
right, Dave Pileggi, look for Dave, Wendy, and the kids in a Christmas movie near you. Could be on the Hallmark Channel. Who knows?
Yeah.
What would the name of the movie be?
What's the name of it?
What would the name of the movie be, do you think?
So I already know the name of mine that I wrote. I don't want to give that away.
Okay, let's not give it away.
Right, but if we were to be in one, like as a family, Hallmark-ish Lifetime Christmas movie thing, something like we had talked about doing like something that is over-explanatory, like the random Christmas hilarity. Right? Like, you never see, it's always like super sweet, cute names, like Lost on the Ranch of Neverland. Right? Like a long, deep name. I would want a Hallmark movie to have the most ridiculous title so that people would go, that's on Hallmark? Just to press play just to see what it was.
Dave Pileggi, the Creative Movement Atlanta, and so much more, ministers to so many people and touches so many lives. Check out thecreativemovement.co and see what's going on. And 2021 is continuing, going to be huge for this family and their ministry. All right, real quick, there's a quote that I saw on your Facebook, and I loved it. God is speaking. Can you hear him over your beliefs and noise? Tell me more.
Look, man. One of the things that God has been showing me personally, us as a family, and every single person that we have been dealing with has been asking us, are the gates of your ears so strong that you can't hear me? right? Our belief system, the story we tell ourselves, is what is the filter of our ears, of our heart, of our mind. It is the thing that we live by, is the story we tell ourselves. That's those beliefs. So, for example, if I believe, 2020 is going to be rough, this pandemic financially is going to be crazy, that if that's what I believe, and God's giving me ideas, speaking, do this, call this person, email this person. Well, I mean, what good? It's a pandemic. I don't want to bother them. They're struggling like me and us and whatever. Then I am locking down my belief.
Wow.
To this is what this year is going to be. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be financially a nightmare. It's going to be relationally distant, right? If that's the story. If the story is, God, just like in every single part of my life that has been hard, I know you're going to show up and do miracles. Just like every story in the Bible, just like millions of people every day experience your miracles. Right now, today, I can't wait to see what you're going to do. If that's the story, now we're open. When he says, email this person, I'm going to email them, which has happened, by the way. We have opportunities this year that other people have called us and go, how the crap did you get? What is going on? How did you get that? I literally had an idea when I was praying. That's all I said. I was praying one morning. I had an idea. I wrote it down so I could keep praying. I came back. I emailed the guy. He emailed me back. Oh my God, this is amazing. I was thinking about this the other day. Let's do it. And now things are rolling.
Wow.
That is the thing God has shown me, is that many people sit and wait for everything to be perfectly in line before they do anything. Before they even ask God for anything, right? They don't ask because, well, times are hard. I don't want to be arrogant. No. God, make me a millionaire right now. In 2020, right now, so that I can change millions of people for you. I don't care what you have to do. Do it. Tell me what to do. Tell me where to go. Tell me who to call. One of the biggest things was earlier this year, God literally in my prayer time had these 3 letters run through my mind, AFM. And I was like, what? So I looked up AFM and a bunch of random organizations came up that had nothing to do with anything. But then one of them was the American film market. And I was like, well, isn't this interesting? Well, you could register and submit a pitch. So I did. I just registered for free, submitted a pitch of one of the shows that I wrote. And got an email back like an hour and a half later. You have been accepted. Here's your code to get into American film market. We've also chosen you out of 350 submissions to pitch on our producer panel, or to our producer panel. So now we're in talks with producers and production companies and investors from overseas and in the United States to get this show and our whole slate of projects done.
Wow.
I never, and I'm being honest with you, if some human being was like, dude, you should totally check out American Film Market, man. They're so dope. You could pitch your stuff. I'd have been like, nah, we're not ready. You know, we got to have investors. We got to have pitch decks. We got to have outlines. We got to have scripts done. This thing needs to be tweaked. I would have had a list of reasons why never to do it. But just submitting it, and then God rolls out the red carpet without me literally doing anything except submitting a 2-minute video about the show that I wanted to get done, is complete proof that if we'll just listen, get your beliefs aside. Because one of the things God's showing me is there's facts and there's truth, right? Facts are everything you can see, tangible in the world. It's hard. Pandemic's crazy. Political madness, social unrest, all the mask madness, arguing political blah, blah, blah online. Facts. Truth. He is the God of peace. He is my provision. He's the leader that will put me in a place to bring this madness to a place in the storm to be settled so people could hear him. That's truth. I can look at facts or I can look at truth. And in the entertainment industry, especially, there's all this craziness of shutting down. Nobody can do anything. I was like, God, I know you did not give me all of these projects to change the world for me to sit on my butt for a whole year doing nothing.
That's good.
And he just literally, relationship by relationship, person by person, investor by investor, we're literally just tallying it up to get the full production budget to get this stuff done, because it's going to legit change the world. It's going to be some of the best stuff you're ever going to see.
Wow.
I love how you said that. I mean, you prayed and you heard, but then you had to do something. It just they didn't knock on your door. You knocked on theirs.
Legit. And look, I really believe it's one of those things where, Jesus gave the disciples this great example of what to do in a storm, right? The first thing is he was asleep in the boat on a pillow. That always stuck out to me, on a pillow. And I was always like, why did they point that out? Like every one of the gospels, like he's asleep on a pillow. And I started praying about that, like going, why did you even put that like on a pillow? That just doesn't make, that's such a minute little weird detail, right? Mm-hmm. Well, it blew my mind when it struck me that Jesus brought something with him to be comfortably at rest, no matter what was to come. His expectation was to be at rest and be at peace. He brought a pillow. So for us, but what did the disciples bring? Just stuff to get across the water. He was like, go to the other side. I'll be asleep. In our lives, what do we have with us at all times that we can be at rest, be comfortably at rest and at peace? It's got to be the word. It's got to be. That thing that we're holding on to can either be the word of the media, right? Which is a freaking nightmare.
No.
Or the word of God. We have to grab onto something. If we look at the storm, there's always going to be stuff that's going to upset us. Mm-hmm. If I look at God's word and if I can be at rest and fall asleep in the middle of the storm with Jesus, everything's just going to be fine, right? And he gave us an example of that when the disciples came and were just like, we're about to die. Don't you care? Which I think is hilarious to ask the Savior of the world. Do you not care that I'm going to die? It's freaking hilarious. But he gets up, right? So there's a big problem. He's at rest. The disciples come to him, which is a great example of prayer, right? The disciples come to Jesus. Here's my problem. Help, help, help. Jesus got up, walked up to the top of the boat, and then spoke. He took action for the request. Mm-hmm. So if he is giving us that example, that when there's a need, when people are praying for something, right? Like I personally know hundreds of Christians who are praying for content that will change the world. What if God, for some random, ridiculous reason, gave me the project that they're praying for? I have to get up and I have to go do something. And what I found is that every step I take, there's legit favor there, especially in the no's. I'm so grateful when God has someone tell me no, because I'm like, whew, all right, great. I'm not supposed to be with them. Let's go find somebody I'm supposed to be with. A lot of people take that really personal, and they don't like it. I love it because it just hones my direction. I love the yeses. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love the no's because it just shrinks the amount of people I got to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
It's a great way to look at it.
That is so good. Reverend Dave Pileggi, right?
Yes.
What?
Right, Reverend Dave Pileggi.
Message. Hey, let's take up an offering right now.
Welcome to church, everybody. Pass that bucket.
Dude, you always bring it. You are so encouraging and so practical at the same time. Love it. Thanks for all that you do, your ministry, your skill, your talent, husband, father, everything that you do. We want them to follow you, the Creative Movement Atlanta. Check him out on the Facebook.
Yeah.
And thecreativemovement.co. And hey, sign up for those the workshops there.
Online classes,
I think it's bigger than being an actor or an entertainer. I think it could help you in so many areas. Dave, love you. Looking forward to 2021. We'll hang with you again. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Love you guys so much. Thank you guys for all you do. I appreciate you more than you know.
Thank you
Hope you guys have a great Christmas, man.
Thank you. You too. Merry Christmas, guys. Love you.
Merry Christmas to you. Love you too. We'll be back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk.